Hello? Can you hear me?
Clem, how are we doing? Live action. We have welcoming all my aliens, apes, and zombies. And we have racing punks here live and direct. Volume check. How are you? He just had his volume on a second ago. He's changing his volume settings, but going on today is we have our friend.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you loud. How are you today?
All's good. How about you guys?
I'm doing good. No complaints at all, because we have you live and direct, and we are talking racing punks right here, where we're going to be talking not only about we can bring to the racing community and the crypto punk community as well.
Yep. I mean, let give me a moment. I'll get Ryan on that as well. He's joining in, I think, on the Racing Punks account. Yeah, give me
not
a moment.
A problem at all. Some speakers from the group in there. How we doing? Good. Another clown punk on the stream, making me feel nice and comfortable right now. Punk 3938. How are we doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
All good.
Good. How are you, Nova?
Can't complain. You know, we got a Monster Monday going on. If you can't tell, I'm actually wearing something a little bit different. I usually wear my Chewbacca onesie hoodie, and I have Adam now. So we are doing things a little bit different here in the Novoverse today, as we are live streaming. Like, I'll try to put that on the pinned tweet above. Hold on a second. So you can check that pinned tweet above. I know some people might leave spaces to watch the live video. That live video is streaming right on Crypto Novo 311's Twitter. Just scroll down and you can see that live action. We're talking and going through some visuals in this and racing space right here. Clem, you got your buddies in here?
Yeah. I think they are inside as well. So I think we can let Ryan take the lead on Racing Punks as well. So I guess we are here to talk more about our project, that's for sure. And the next thing is also, let's talk more about like how NFT marketing is gonna evolve in this space as well. And we can see that there's lots of NFT marketing going on with your usual NFT promoters, which might come off as some sort of scammy kind of thing. And we also have like KOLs as well, such as like Tyler and 3orovik, who is basically, I would say, voices in the space itself, including you. I think all of these actually make up sort of the NFT marketing community for now. And I think there's more to that, because I feel that most people are able to monetize their NFTs in such a way whereby they're able to gather a community under like their NFT brand, whether it's a BAYC or Punk itself. They should be able to monetize it without being called out as like a sellout in some sense. You get what I mean?
Loud and clear. Hey, Darren, do you mind just putting that on mute when you're not chatting there? A little bit of feedback.
Sorry about that.
No biggie. Oh, and Racing Punks too. Whoever has the on as well. Thank you. Just a tad bit of feedback about the marketing. And you guys have been doing a great job. I mean, obviously gain attention and caught my eye. But I mean, we're, not only punks, but you got Bored Apes, on the hood of the car. And I can speak a little bit from example background a little bit as Crypto Novo is where I wanted to take $1 million, sell it for $1 million. And part of that is what you're saying is marketing, getting my CryptoPunk out there, getting into the different knit communities. And you guys are creating a multiplayer NFT game to ready, set, and you're able to do that. You're able to build that marketing through very simple things like, one, coming on a live stream you guys are doing right now. Two, bringing in your alpha, your teammates in there. We got Clem who reached out. Make sure you're checking out that Twitter feed. Yes, it's Tyler Says. Also, which we'll bring in. They can introduce, talk a little bit about what within the community. And then we also have our also fellow CryptoPunk Clown House. And then also Darren, I love that Batman helmet look that you have going on. So how about we go around the horn a little bit and you guys can introduce yourselves and with the Racing Punk, and also, how that works into the marketing aspect of it, because it does take a large number of people to get that marketing aspect going.
Hey Novo, good to have. So I'm Darren. So I've been a gamer for all my life. Darren and I, we both co-founded this Racing Punks. We want to create a project where gamers would love a game, NFTs inside NFT. We want to bridge Web 2 into Web 3. So when you approach play, you don't want to feel that it's a traditional blockchain game. You want to feel that it's a game where you play for just for fun. You want to feel it's entertainment, not because you're playing to earn. You want to play because you enjoy the game. That is our main goal.
Yeah, and that makes sense. What's up, guys? I come from a gaming background myself, so that kind of me drawn into the NFT space and drawn to a specific product. I think that gaming is the future of this space. What happened with the regular, just like with Xbox and PlayStation 5. How big it's become, and how you can go to college to play games now. So I don't think it'll be any different from what's going on in this space that we have here. So that's what kind of really attracts me towards a project like Racing Punks.
And that's part of it. I can tell you, I know the countless numbers of hours where I've been able to video games, and then you don't even really realize it, and you look at the clock and you've sawed half a day, engaged in a game. Saying it's not even to the point where you're getting paid to earn or anything like that. It's just normal, and how they are just embedded within our culture, within our society, within everyday things, and that's the brilliant marketing aspect that I saw that attracted me to Racing Punks, is just the aspect of, you can have CryptoPunks in there, but you're trying to get the Bored Apes in there. You can have all aliens, apes, and zombies in there as well. And that is part of the marketing genius behind it, is, what can you do with your NFT? Is it just a profile giving you access? Is it gamified?
Yeah, I totally agree with that as well. I mean, if Novo, you can actually explain more about like how does the Novoverse also help, in terms of such marketing as well. I mean, it's a brilliant job from like building it on Decentraland, having like all your different clubs, like whether there's like a sort of an alpha pass or sort of like a pass towards like different areas in the Decentraland. And I think that is a great way to to move forward with NFT marketing, whereby you're able to create some sort of garages, a museum kind of things like that, especially for things that are definitely built on chain. So I think that's a great aspect that I think most of these marketing tools we can actually explore in terms of NFTs as well. Because right now, most of the time, we are actually just looking at Discord, we are looking at sneak peeks, we are looking at maybe YouTube videos, for example. And I think having such a platform where people are able, to market their NFT or monetize it in some sense, especially in your Decentraland platform, I think that's a great opportunity. So I think you could explain more of how like your Novoverse could actually help. I mean, for those that are actually watching the stream right now, if you guys joined in as well, you can take a look at Novo's Decentraland plot of land, which he has done up very, very nicely as well. So please check it out as well. Yeah.
Appreciate it, and that's part of it is like the concept of what I want to do behind the Novoverse and crypto node. And part of that is giving stuff away. So if you're watching right now, you can just hop in my Discord, which is in my bio link, and I'll send you a free wearable. And it'll look just like me and running around just like me. And that was kind of the aspect, is that we can have everyone involved, everyone included. And then you have our little marquee billboard right back there where it says Novoverse. So if people do take selfies out there, it's almost free advertising. But it can get better because you can branch and get in with other people, areas. We can get stuff like these wearables up here on the walls. So then you can get different scenarios where, you're bringing in other aspects from other communities, not just my community, other communities. And that is all marketing aspect. Maybe someone could take the mic and talk about that marketing aspect of incorporating other NFT projects into your guys' current project. This is awesome.
Yeah. So I think from our point of view, Ryan can go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, awesome, guys. Hey, guys. Good to be here. But look, I guess what the key thing that I'm loving to hear you guys say is the idea of value creation, right? It's like how do you take an NFT and how do you, like you said, how do you make $1 million? From utilizing that crypto. And I think that's the key thing for us is that when we kind of built this idea behind racing, let's say, what, we love games. Like that's our background. Dad came from the game, so did I. But the key thing is like, how do we actually build communities around these games, and how do we actually build communities around these NFTs so that it kind of evolves from being a PFP, it can evolve into what you guys are doing in the Novoverse. But at the same time, how do you make it more interoperable? Outside the NFT space, and then put into either the game space or any other, like I guess, what that direction blockchain really leads it to.
And a lot of that is the culmination of working with others that I've seen time and time again. Because I'm not going to sit here and say and claim I know everything. I bring my friend CryptoPjr in, and he helps me with lots of aspects within the NFT space and helps me stay organized. So these are branches underneath a larger umbrella that is just helping the cause for everyone. And if we can't do it, we won't be able to do this all by ourselves. It takes a community to do it, and hence the NFT community. Timas, I see that your mic's off. Anything you want to add to this?
Oh no, sorry. I was just having
just jamming. So.
Yeah, sorry, I zoned out for a second. I was reading a DM. Sorry. I always keep it on the mic off, just in case, when I'm scrolling through my DMs. So my bad.
That's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine.
What you're saying, like, it is really, really cool that they're incorporating like different, the actual cards. When I go into a game, I'd want to see my kind of skin per se in the game. So that's pretty cool.
Well, I see it now. Yeah. I have a young sibling, my son, AKA, and I don't know how much he has spent on what is it called?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So like he's buying skin, buying Chicago Bears football players. He's buying Boba Fett. Oh, Vader. Oh, I need one now. And he doesn't really own. They can just reset the game and they're gone. We're here, which I loved and enjoyed seeing, of a button here. is just, you know what, having these Bored Apes on there, having these CryptoPunks on there. Actually, I'm going to go into your guys' Discord because you guys have. Please join the Discord. It's CryptoPunks, the CryptoPunks Discord. The link their page. It's the only clickable thing underneath the links. If you look on the left-hand side, they introduce the different cars. So not only can you get your CryptoPunk on a car, but the cars are going to be different, which is just amazing because it just shows the growth. It's just, you're not going to be going around in just one single car and they're all cookie cutters, but it has different types.
Different attributes, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah,
guys.
So basically, for us, I think each car is basically, we will all have like a base model for it. So you guys will get to actually upgrade it and sort of make it your own. And definitely once you place your own NFT on it, whether it's like, for example, Novo can place his punk on it, it will essentially become a 1-1, NFT itself. So it's going to be super unique as well. And on top of that, I think what we are able to do is basically these NFTs itself, we are raising the value of it just by placing a CryptoPunk or a BAYC on it. And that's the kind of value that I think that all of us should actually extract from our NFTs, like putting it on promotions, putting on whether is it a advertisement or something like that. And I think this shouldn't be a problem, I would say, in the space. Like, for example, if let's say I have a BAYC and I want to talk about a project that I really believe in and I want to promote it to the community as well. And I want to give whitelist to my community and those that are following me. I feel that right now in this space, people are very wary of this kind of projects as well, because it will seem as though that they are just doing it for the cash. Yeah, but why not? Why can't I do it for the cash? Because basically, if someone actually looks for me and realizes that I have this reach, I have this influence, feel free to actually use me, or hire me and engage me, to put out a tweet out there as well. So I think in terms of NFT marketing itself, this is how one of the things you can monetize it. And let's say if we put the NFT on the car, you're basically raising the value of the car itself. So if at any one point you guys want to resell it or something, or rent it out to someone, which is in our business model, and I think that's a great way for you guys to monetize it. So who doesn't want to drive in a BAYC car, or even like a BAYC branded car, or even a Punk branded car? I think that's a great step moving forward in terms of NFT marketing. And I mean, we can even put brands on it as well, not just the NFT. So this is a great step moving forward. So yeah, I think that's great.
You can't put brands on there yet until the right brand comes towards you. I've seen this exact model work with artifacts where they had the CryptoPunk sneakers and you actually had to buy the CryptoPunk sneakers from them. People were aggravated about it because it was, I don't know, $1,000 for those punk sneakers, Ethereum was, to get them. But what that turned into, those turned into clones real quick, and they turned into other NFTs that they gave you, the monoliths, other aspects, and it gives you that access. Having that love another NFT project has been successful for multiple NFTs, and some of the best ones that are out there. The clones wouldn't have been the clones if they distribute themselves the punk community when they first started that. So that is a huge aspect of that marketing. And just like you're saying, it seems like you start with a car that's just the chassis of the car. If it's the Legacy, if it's the Stingray, if it's the Ace X2. But then once you have that chassis, things get layered on top of it. All right. So now you're adding to that specific NFT. You're adding attributes to it, attributes in the metadata. But you know what? As far as putting cool things on that particular NFT, or in this case, a car.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's actually a really good point. I think how you want to make that unique, A, the NFTs you hold, and B, how you want to. I think for us as well, like for us, the focus is on like great games that has to be fun, right? And having that NFT on NFT, it's a bit of a flex, right? We want to create these communities where the BAYC community can race against, the CryptoPunks, or the clones. And I think if we look at this, the goal behind the game to create these communities of like-minded NFT holders or thinkers, and they can get in their cards, they can race against each other. And yes, there is that play and an element, but I think if the game isn't fun to play and the community isn't there, then that tokenomics, that play and an element would never work. So we want to focus on that community first, bring on the right gamers, and then go from there.
Bring in the race. I have our Monday listener on this Monster Monday, CryptoPjr, which I'm going to have him come in to race the intergalactical, and he has been around the galaxy. He has picked up that those and have played those types of race games. CryptoPjr, your thoughts on how racing games or games in general can in the NFT space? And you know a lot about evolution.
Oh, absolutely. First of all, thanks for having me tonight. This is fantastic. These guests, it's an honor to be here. Absolutely. Everything evolves. And when we have these racing games, whether it be the NFT world, video game world, or intergalactic world, you're going to want ownership. You're going to want the pride in making your own car, just like, your so-called boomer generation took pride in building their hot rods back when that was an affordable option. Well, nowadays, everything is in the online world, as the boomers would say, WWWs. And, NFT is just the evolution of that, where you can take pride, ownership, and at the end of the day, build something. It's almost like crafting, an airplane, a car, or even a real NASCAR or Formula One car. It's the combination of really engineering, talent, and, the web to really get down and, take this to the next level.
It is. And this is going to get taken to the next level. Look up at the pinned tweets above. I did post a poll ago, or maybe it was like a day ago. Is like what you're fan of: NASCAR, motocross, or Mario Kart? And right now, Mario Kart has the lead. So like more people are, I want to say more people, but more people who are filled out that poll enjoy Mario Kart, and they're a racing fan of it because they have that engagement of it. They've probably spent more hours doing Mario Kart or racing games, maybe compared to NASCAR, motocross, or F1, because savvy space that we're into. Currently speaking with, a lot of the members within the NFT community hopping on board, because a lot of them have come from the gaming community, very similar to on the panel today that have been gamers, that have known video games for a while, and the aspects within video games that keep them fun, keep them upgrading, because we've all seen those games. You're constantly trying to upgrade your vehicles, and doesn't matter if you're a fan of NASCAR, motocross, F1, or Mario Kart. Whenever the new cars or the new skins going to come out on the particular NFTs, excitement that draws the buzz. And that's a whole nother aspect of the marketing on that, where you can do different things. Like CryptoPjr right here, his marketing aspect, you know what? He's got it going on. He knows what he's doing. He's been world traveler, so he's able to bring the world to create different conversation and engagement. And that's what it's about, is engagement. And I'm seeing that right now with what Racing Punks are doing with the crypto, trying to engage them, pulling them in. So when they reached out to me, asking me if if I was maybe interested in becoming part of the pit crew or team members, I'm interested in putting my CryptoPunk in anything that I can, because that's what I'm doing for myself in marketing aspect. Yeah. Punks, you have different ways right here with different people in there. With Tomas right here with his Bored Ape, on the car, and then there we go with Clown Nose himself right there on another car. What is that? A Porsche? It looks like.
Yeah, I think that's a great point as well. I mean, if we take a look at even NASCAR, F1, or any motorsport out there, basically, you're having like all these brands on the car itself. You're having like maybe crypto.com, you have Binance as well. They are all on these cars itself. So how do we bring that into the metaverse or into Web3 itself? Is basically, if we have all these games running, let's say for us, we are a racing game, so we can have all these brands on our cars itself. We can have all your different NFTs as well. So let's say even for maybe like BAYC, they can just put their logo on it, and then it could be a BAYC sponsored car or sponsored theme as well. Yeah. So these are the kind of things that we can actually explore in terms of the space when it comes to games. Even for football, I mean, World Cup is coming, so I don't know if you guys are into football at all, or soccer. Soccer, if you guys on the other side of the world. Yeah, so for soccer as well, you can see like there are lots and lots of ads for Coca-Cola. There are lots of ads for like maybe UNICEF, things like that. So brands are actually very willing to put their name out there on this kind of huge sporting events. So for Racing Punks wise, if let's say we become a huge sporting event in terms of like through the racing game, it's going to be a huge space for advertisements or marketing in general, where brands can actually just engage us and put their brands on the cars, put their brands in our track itself. And these are the kind of things that will definitely push NFT marketing forward as well, you know. And for example, if you are, let's say for Novo itself, you put your clown face on the car, and then people approach you, say, hey, we want to work with your clown face car, we want to work with your clown face car, we want to put our brand on it. You can go ahead and do it, because the NFT is yours and the punk is yours. You are able to use that influence, you are able to use that reach, to engage these people. It's a huge way, to monetize what you already have. And I feel it's perfectly fine for you, to earn money from the space. That's what you're supposed to do anyway. Yeah. And even let's say for NBA itself, it took quite a bit of time, for them to actually start placing ads on their jerseys. Yeah. And I feel that brands are beginning to open up, especially to crypto. I mean, right now we are in a pretty bad downturn, I would say, but marketing still goes on, sales still goes on, and I think that people are still willing to buy into this kind of thing. So yeah, huge opportunity, Manovo, huge opportunity.
With the current state of the market, what you'll find out in these types of is people build, investing, they're building, and you'll see an explosion of building right after this downturn that we're here. Looping in back to two mention that you just had. One is advertisement like on jerseys. We're seeing it in the NBA. We're seeing it pretty soon. Eventually, it'll probably be in the NFL, where they're putting little logos, insignias on things. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure G Money had his CryptoPunk car last year. So he paid a sponsorship fee to put it on a NASCAR. It wasn't huge. It was probably like a 1-inch sticker or whatever NASCAR charges, but it's still, your clout, you're pulling the game, what you're trying to do. And then another thing which is a huge thing and might be a great business model for you guys, and I'm sure you already have it shown, is what the tracks are going to look like. And we're talking about the cars, but imagine the tracks and what you can and can't do, and the different play that you can do with these tracks. Can you maybe talk a little bit about the gameplay that you guys have set up? Because I was scrolling through your tweets earlier this week and saw some, who you guys are getting linked in with, and how these games are kind of forming and how they're going to.
Yeah. So I think Ryan, you can actually take that on how the game will actually work. I think you'll be the best person to explain that.
Yeah, Ryan, or you can even talk about like the cars in the garage, whatever aspect that you want to talk about here.
Yeah, awesome. I think the idea, like you said, about the advertising, like on the tracks itself, is a very interesting concept, right? Because I think for us, like when we actually saw like the biggest revenue, I guess, for a game itself, I think, you take this Monaco and you've got, Martel, you've got all these kind of brands that are advertising, and it's the same concept here. Because I think when it comes to, let's call it NFT marketing in general, it's just all about traffic. Right, you want to put your brand on put their own products in front of the most potential buyers. So, like Clem said, it's not really needed. It's about being a great game, and then once you have the users, once you have the traffic, how we can monetize that, whether that is on-track advertising on cars, the world's the oyster, right? But I think going back, the other thing is, it's like, well, how do we make a damn good game, right? So that's the element where we have this more win-to-win component. So in essence, winner takes all, with the tokens that we've got, and we've got quite a few different game modes. You can go one-on-one, you can race, 8 people. We've got weekly racing tournaments. We've got monthly jackpot tournaments. So I think the whole idea is it's gamification, right? We want to make it something that's sticky. We want to make it so that, it's skill-based, that there is a big enough, financial incentive for those to race. And once that brings in the traffic, then this is where the advertisers are going to start piling in, because it really is about another form of advertising this onto Web3 rather than on the physical tracks that you see like on F1 or NASCAR.
If you get eyes watching, people will pay for that captive audience. And that captive audience, we're seeing more and more with esports and e-games. We're seeing it more and more with different types of digital ads out there. I want to bring in CryptoPjr in for another question here about of racing and the aspect of winning races, because right now, there's a pot, there's a pool, there's winners, there's losers, and all those add up to what races are. There's first, second, third, and there's people who win also. What I like about it is everyone has a chance, and that's what you're doing, is reestablishing that, so people have a chance to drop their NFT in there and have a chance to self-promote it, and they might not have it. We talked about foot traffic. That's what I'm trying to do, is get as much foot traffic in the Novoverse as possible, because then people start buying wearables. Give some away for free, and you're able to go there and then sell them at a later date if people want community. And that's a whole another aspect of it, is building that community, which you guys have been doing in multiple layers. I've been trying to do it with my Monster Monday shows, and I've also been just being consistent with trying to be here in Decentraland as much as I can.
Yeah, and I think that there are lots of moving parts when it comes to marketing in general. Yeah, and for right now in this space, especially in this sensitive period as well, I think lots and lots of projects are trying to get their name out there, and we are having trouble. Not we are having trouble. I think the space in general is having trouble trying to discern what is a good project and what is a bad project, because of all these kinds of marketing going around. So how do you think that we should be able to, push that narrative forward without sounding too pushy in some sense?
Well, you do that by just having your friends, your family, your aliens, apes, and zombies, self-promoting their cars, self-tease, calling out to their friends, retweeting the proper tweets when people are having spaces. I want to say hi to MG 46 from the 456 Club. Thank you. OMG G NFT. Oh my God, thank you for listening. Again, I have fans coming in and listening to this every week, and that's what it is. They are fans of the Novoverse that come and listening. Educating another NFT. So own decision on what is a good NFT project, what is not a good NFT project, and just seeing by the strength within your guys' community and how many members showed up to this stream to help not only educate but self-promote too. You're allowed to shill in this space. You're allowed to try to make some ETH in this space. So getting your name, your face on different cars gives you that aspect, and then kind of front loads it too, where you have a cool car and you want people or your vehicle around. So when there are races, you want to be the popular one that everyone is kind of backing. And their advice is just having fun in this NFT space.
Yep. And you have quite a bit of history in terms of racing as well. But your dad was sort of like a racer, right? Or was he a race crew? I can't remember which.
Yes. Actually, I live just south of a racetrack called Road America.
Wow.
Land area. So going up north to a where they do have NASCAR, where they do have and family bloodline. My dad works on vintage. He used to race go-karts back in the day. He is in the go-karting Hall of Fame. When retired, he got into his he got on all of his old friends who he used to race with when he was a teenager. They all started a vintage IndyCar racing team, and he's on the pit crew of the team. And he still fabricates the parts that can no longer be made. There is a gentleman who is a driver for him, and it's in their blood, and it's always in their blood, and they'll always be in his blood. This reaches different aspects where you guys see NASCAR, the popularity it has, F1 globally, Indy, the Indy cars globally, and it just grows and grows and grows because people have that need for speed. You know what? People want to go out there and have fun while accelerating and going fast. If it's in the real cars, or even if it is in a video game, very similar to CryptoPjr and his UFOs that he just tries to test the limits on, tries to see how fast they go.
Yeah, and I totally agree like with you as well. I mean, racing is definitely in your blood. That's why I looked for you in the first place. I was willing to to work with you. That's why we are hosting these spaces today, because you have that racing blood in you, and we are very very pleased to work with you as well. But I think in terms of moving forward for racing in general, we could actually see more of such games actually in the space itself, because even on Decentraland, you could probably build a track. I mean, recently I think you showed me a video, was it, or something that was built on Decentraland about wearables like shoes or like a trolley kind of thing. So I think that's something that we could be looking towards, like maybe having our cars right in Decentraland as sort of like a wearable in terms of like shoes, movable shoes in that sense. Yeah, so I think that's a huge space that we can move into. So imagine everyone that's driving in Decentraland rather than just walking, running about with a wearables. Yeah, I mean, there's a video of it as well, right? Am I right?
That's right. The video is on right here. If you go to Lastrum, I'm going to try to pin that. Oh, I can. I think I got to. Can I pin that? No, I can't pin it off my computer. If you go to Lastrum, LASTM, he is did Last Slice Pizza, which is a development core. Last Slice Collective, excuse me, which is a development core in Decentraland. And he was one of the first to get airdropped a smart wearable, a flying wearable. And yeah, NFTs can now fly. Right now, Decentraland, all I can do is jump and run and move on different planes, except for the flying. I don't even know what plane you'd call that. Virtual reality plane of flying all over the place. So there are things to come just like this. And why not be able to have cars, flying anything, driving anything, driver. So right now they have a larger gentleman on a couch. I forgot what movie that's from. I don't know if it's iRobot or not iRobot.
It's, what's that called? I can't remember. It's a Pixar movie, right?
Yep, man. Anyhow, that little robot, that's where that thing came from. And
Wally.
Yes, Wally. Yes.
Thank you, CryptoPjr. I know you have visited that planet frequently. I know it's pretty much a large garbage dump, but sometimes people go there to get those recyclables to put into their furnaces to get their UFOs up to the perfect speeds to hyper jump.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
CryptoPjr, have you met Wally at all? Or I know you've been to his planets. I know he's one of a kind out there, but
just on some party chat lines, intergalactic chat lines, but no, never in person.
We do have a programming note. We generally have Crypto Monsters LB out there. It's a Loch Ness Monster Week today. We can't find Lockie. They will not be able to show up today. I think Lockie's at a baseball game. Loch Ness Monster can show up this week, but each Monday we're bringing this live content on Monster Mondays, but we switched gears. So I have a play on words there. We did switch into racing punks here. One more aspect I wanted to, you know what, on these cars that you are putting upgrades on the to make them faster. I mean, that was a whole being within when I was playing the racing games in the PlayStation 2s and PlayStation 3s, fully able to get the modifications. You can get the supercharger installed in your car. You can get the race treads. You can get the race shocks on there. Are those add-on attributes? Or are those things that you get when you mint? How are those attributes added, if they are attributes?
Yeah, and I think for that, everyone starts with like a baseline model in that sense. So it's like with any other racing game, you always start with the base car basically. So it's probably like a Honda Civic or like a Type R Honda Civic as well. So it's like more like a racing version. So as you make your way through the game, whether it's through winning or whether it's you betting or whether it's you renting, you can always upgrade your car to the next tier. So in that sense, everyone starts with the same baseline car. So you may get a Audi R8 in the future, you may get a Ferrari in the future, you may get a Lamborghini in the future. So you are able to upgrade these attributes to that level as you play the game. So it's the same with any other racing game. It's a simple concept, I would say. I mean, we try not to make things too complicated over here as well, because most of the time people are actually, talking about how great this game is going to be, how big this game is going to be. But we don't want to overpromise. So we keep things simple for now. And as more developments happen over time, in terms of trends, whether there are new cars coming out or whether we are going for, electric vehicles like Tesla, for example, maybe we could move more towards the direction as well. So yeah, I mean, right now we're just keeping things simple upgrades, get your car to the next level, increase your chance to win basically. Yeah, because everyone is going to compete. When we first enter the game, everyone is going to compete on the same level with the same car. But as time goes by, people start making their upgrades. There are more and more people that are going to win rather than those who don't upgrade. So in order to get the most value out of your NFT when it comes to racing, you're gonna have to upgrade your car, that's for sure. So this is the kind of upgrades that we're talking about. And on top of that, you'll also be able to put your decals on the car, whether it's your NFTs or a brand that you wanna, promote. For example, you might own a coffee shop, for example. You might want to put maybe Starbucks on there as well, just to promote that coffee shop. And I think that's perfectly fine with us. We'll be able to do that as well. Yeah.
It's just gonna be a matter of time before we start seeing those Starbucks or Dunkin' or anything on there. Just like we're having more CryptoPunks flowing into the room. A whole boatload of clones are in the room. And that the next thing that we can start talking about. Each NFT project is generally classified as a group, community members within a group. So you got CryptoPunks, you have Bored Apes, which used to be somewhat competitive. Which one's cooler? Which one's better? I think that's panned down a little bit. You have clones, but then also in the racing world, you have racing teams.
Yes.
Penske Racing, you have Foyt Racing, whatever it may be. So now, how we add to the community, and we can minded individuals or maybe even like-minded NFT come into the space. So maybe I can get some clowns, some CryptoPunks behind it. So now we have a CryptoPunks racing team, and then we can go against the Bored Apes racing team, and we can find our course and we can go at it and just have some fun.
I mean, I think that's the plan that we're actually going for. Yeah.
Well,
so I think Ryan can take that.
Clem, hold on a second. I know you can't hear the people on Spaces, but we have Spaces. Go for it.
Awesome. Yeah, look, David, that's actually the perfect point, because the one thing we always emphasize on is community, right? Like, so one of the goals we want to create is, imagine this: you got your CryptoPunk racing team, and you guys are going to go battle against the AYCs, right? You guys, so like once for all, who's actually the better project racetrack? And so I think for us, like the idea is that we know there's a lot of NFT communities. Everyone is loyal to, I guess, one or a few projects, and what we want to do is we just want to kind of bring these guys together, right, and make it fun. So I think for us, it is not about utility, and I believe in that, right? Let's bring people together because either A, you love racing, or two, want to be an NFT owner where you can monetize by renting out your car, right? And behind all that, let's umbrella where, for example, there can be that CryptoPunk racing community, there will be that BAYC racing community or the clones. So this kind of brings all the different NFT communities together. and they bring it together for one reason. Let's go do something fun. Let's race.
Mm-hmm. And you've seen that in like in like the poll, for instance, like Mario Kart. Like I've seen different people, play the game together, and that's the cool part about all these communities together into one platform.
And we're seeing they're doing it already, or we're seeing Twitch streams where people are doing that on Web2 platforms. You have, I don't know how many Madden games that people are playing the same exact Hail Mary play and catching it, but restreaming it like it's something brand new. And this is brand new, where it is going to make some heads turn in any capacity. I mean, my PR's, alien face on my car to show and spread the love of my community members and this and that. But not only that, you know what? You're able, like, you're rent out space. What NASCAR does. Hey, I have a car. You want to rent some space out on it, and I'll put your image on. That's how it works, and that's how it goes. And it could go even wider than that. You get about the racetrack on it. When I was chatting with you prior, I was talking about wearables. I mean, why not get a racing suit and a racing helmet and put logos on there, just like Jeff Gordon had or Danica Patrick had back in the day. They were walking billboards. I mean, they walked, and more people had eyes on those racing competitors than anyone else.
Yeah, and I think that's the main part of how. Yeah.
For you to,
We got a question here. We got a question from Darren here. Sorry, Clem, to keep cutting you off, but go ahead, Darren.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine.
Novo and Tech Teamers, this question for you two. I'd like to ask you for Metaverse.
What is the real definition of the Metaverse? Yes.
I would say like being like immersed into the world. You have your character or your your race or whatever it may be, and you're living in, or they're living almost like vicariously through that character, almost because you're that you're that personality that you want to be in the space, or you're creating your own reality almost, whatever you want.
Yeah, I would argue that a metaverse can be many things. I think that Twitter Spaces, like Twitter, for example, right here, like you see my profile picture, my punk, you see Team Nova's punk, like this is a metaverse in itself as well. There could be different versions, different levels to it.
My definition is the word yes. If someone says, can we do this in the metaverse? The answer is generally yes. Can we create this? Yeah, probably. And if it's not in Decentraland, it might be an on cyber sandbox. The word, what I look for when people say metaverse to me is yes, you can do that. It might take some time. My goal is to have getting abducted by a UFO. When I talked to my designer, Mr. Dinja, he said, yes, we can do that. It might take some time. We can do that. And then I said, oh, can I have a broadcast booth in that to go up there and check it out? And he said, yes, it can be done. The next part is building that community in there, which will be done. Can we have races in there? Well, the answer is yes, because we just saw wearables just turn up in Decentraland this week. So that's right around the corner. So metaverse to me is the answer and the word and everything. Yes, it can happen in there. Three components that able to bring your own stuff in there, and maybe monetize it, but definitely enjoy it, monetize it at your own pace, at your own room.
I really like the answer. So I guess our keyword is interoperability. So I think many games, especially Web3 games, are struggling to make a true Web3 metaverse game, because I feel that a lot of games right now are stuck on the same game. For Infinity, the Axie can only be played on the X game. So Racing Punks is actually one of the first of our 3 installments. So your racing car can actually be used on our future Racing 3 DLCs installments as well. So we feel that true interoperable, not just within that one game. So if you're a Racing Punk car, you can take it into our race box 1, 2, and 3 as well. Just like any other traditional game, like Need for Speed 7, they'll be making number 8. So we want to make sure that your car can be used in our future games as well, just as our game updates.
I was trying to spit out Gran Turismo earlier. I could not think of the name of that game. I was trying to. I remember you had to like run the perfect course to get the perfect next car, and like we would in college, we'd just spend hours just pushing those buttons until our controllers broke, trying to get it. And that's what it is. It's the resurgence of those games where like now you're gonna actually be on those cars that you're driving around and racing, and you can show it off and race against your friends. And it doesn't need to even be like street racing. It can be in the comforts of your own home. It can be nice and legit. And you know what? There's going to be, and none of this is financial advice. I don't know the roadmap, but there will be some wagering involved where there's going to be winners and losers. And I'm sure the house will take some because they got to keep the lights on at too.
Yeah, and that's other like really big like the whole like gaming scene that's coming with NFTs is we're all a bunch of degens and we love to gamble. So why would we not want to gamble on our guild-based game? Like, just seems super cool and like next level shit.
Well, skill is a huge part of that skill, and part of that skill is building your race car and knowing what it has. So if it does come down to staked wages for or loser, you know what you can do. Very similar to regular street racing or even the races that you see on TV where they know what they have in their cars, they know their drivers, they know what's going on in the space, so they can make those calculated decisions if they want to enter a high stakes race, if race for at a different distance or different curves, where you know your strengths and weaknesses. You probably know the other people's vehicles as well, and the more that you probably put into the car, the more you'll get out of it as far as being seen more. You know, you're out there racing more people are going to see it. If you add aspects on your car, people are going to probably love it. I'm seeing Steph V40. I'm seeing a VW wagon. Maybe submit and you can have, a Volkswagen, vintage Volkswagen car. And it might look like not very dynamic, but you know what? We're in the metaverse. Anything can happen. You know what? Anything. Yes, it can. Yes, it can.
And basically, I think most of the times, like, how do we actually get value out of this metaverse itself? Like, so what if we join the metaverse? I mean, people do want to earn some sort of incentive or money from joining the metaverse or even creating their own metaverse. They want to monetize it. So I guess in terms of our cars wise, they are able to monetize it because as you race or even when you bet on a race, you'll be able to earn some sort of tokens that can be converted and can be helped, and there's some sort of value in there as well. It is still a currency. It's still, you can use the currency to upgrade your cars to earn more tokens as well. So monetizing this whole metaverse itself is definitely part of it. And the next thing is definitely building a community around like each and every car. So for example, for you guys, you might have like a whole group of clown face punks as well. You guys could create that whole group where you guys could race together, or you guys could be a team, and maybe you guys can go head to head against like a BAYC team, maybe the ones with horns, or the ones with the party hats as well. So maybe these people could actually come together, to race against each other. And in some sense, it's kind of like which NFT has the most skilled racers or have the best racers, right? So maybe the clown face could be the champions for season 1. The party hat BAYCs could be the champions for season 2. So these are the kind of things that we can actually explore in this kind of sense because it allows you, to achieve something, to get something out of the metaverse. And it gives you like, that you're winning. You're actually winning in life, Yeah.
We are all winners in life because we are in Web3. We are in the NFT community. We are in this space, quote unquote space, all having fun in this space. And that's what we need to do. If you just tuned in a little bit late, on the top, if you check the pinned tweets, the first one out there, if you scroll all the way to the right, you can actually watch what we're doing live action. So there are some visuals of the cars. If not, it shows also what you like between NASCAR, motocross, F1, or even Mario Kart. So, what car is in your garage? It shows the thousands and thousands of views that what it looks like. Gran Turismo cars are coming to you live action. Speaking, come out to you live action, watching live, or if you're not, doesn't matter anyways. You can get a free Decentraland from me. You just got to get a selfie in the Novoverse, and that selfie me, and I will send you a wearable. I just also need your wallet address, your public one, so that way it can be shared to you. And yeah, just stuff like that. Why not share the love? Clem, any other alpha or info that you can maybe share with people?
Yeah. So I think in terms of alphas, Ryan could share more about that.
Yep.
Hello.
Yes. Can you hear me? Clem, you hear me?
Yeah. I do hear you. Can you hear me as well?
Yes, we're good. Yes, we are.
Right. So I think in terms of alphas wise, right now we won't give out too much information, but we are going to tell you that this will not be the one and only game that's going to be, released in terms of under the Racing Punks brand. We're going to have more variations as well. Maybe you could look in motocross, MotoGP, even basically cycling itself, like the Tour de France as well. So, and I think like these are the kind of things that we'll be exploring as well. So that's just an alpha for you guys. So we won't be limiting ourselves, to just cars because we are building more than just cars. We are going into the whole vehicle space, I would say. Yeah. So not just cars, motorcycles, bicycles itself as well. So these are the kind of races that we might be having in the future. But of course, right now the main thing is we gotta get the game all set up, and then once we release the game, that's when we can move on to the next step, whether it's a Series One or Series Two. Kind of like how Gran Turismo, Need for Speed has their different, series of games, whether it's Underground 2, etc., something like that. Yeah. So right now, the best alpha I can give you is this will not be the first series. This is going to be the Genesis series for Racing Punks itself.
I think you just got a great. Go ahead.
Do you mind if I drop another alpha on top?
I don't mind. That's Hear this? Yes.
We're just sharing my. So look, I think the first thing is in terms of the first alpha, we actually not told this to the whole community yet. Is that this game is going to be ready for beta testing come around September, right? And what we want to do is that the first few that are going to come on board, whether that's going to be the CryptoPjr community or the DIY community, is that they can actually start an early staking program and start earning out tokens, and those tokens can then be used in game, and also to bring in their community and the different guilds that we're going to be bringing in to basically act as rates. So I think the most exciting thing that we've got going on right now is that beta testing is coming out roughly about September. And then we're going to be starting onboarding all these the projects that you guys have, whether it's the CryptoPunks, whether it's the DIY season early, so you guys get the first steps into the game itself. It can be drive the cars, you can test out the tracks, and let that be the start.
I love hearing that alpha. I love even what Clem said before, where it's going to be more things to race. And I saw CryptoPjr mouth drop when you said that. I'm guessing he's wondering if all these things have to have wheels. I mean, maybe we can start going intergalactically and having these.
Like a space race kind of thing, right? Rockets maybe.
Space race. I love having rockets, having saucers. CryptoPjr, what was the thing that passed our solar system recently? It was like a big rock, a space rock from interdimensional travels. Some think are a spaceship.
Yeah, it was Mauna Kea, and they believed it was a probe that possibly was passing by and doing research on us. And don't take my word for it. There's literature out there, very respected professor on the East Coast of the United States, also believes this is true too. And, that's just one of the many crazy and wonderful things in this world we don't know much about.
We don't know much about anything. I don't know much about you, but I enjoy your energy every Monster Monday. Make sure you're following CryptoPjr. Tons of fun stuff in there about anything. It could be anything. That just keep watching the skies, watching the roads, because lots of
trying
things
to bring the truth to people.
You're bringing the truth to the people. Yeah. Things move, things transport people, and everyone likes to race. That's what it is. The space race. I loved how you said that, Clem. I mean, you're onto something right there. Start making some notes on that. The space race.
I mean, just a question for you guys. So, what is your dream car? What is your dream car? I mean, anyone can answer actually. So, what's your dream car, Noble?
This might play into what you have. My dream car is a free car because I think those would be the coolest. Getting a gift from someone that can gift like that. I think one of the cool right now. GT SUV looking ones. I think those are new and sharp. You don't see a whole bunch of them on the road either. And kind of red car looking. CryptoPjr, you've had your intergalactical travels, but here in world and Earth, was there a car that catches your
absolutely? I'm a big fan of this late century automobile building. I'm gonna have to say probably a 1996 Toyota Supra, beautiful car. And still holds up in this day and age. I'm a big fan of your human automobile company, Toyota. I'm not sponsored by them, but I'm willing to talk.
Oh, that's great. When you said 1996, I was scratching my head, and then you had the Supra. Those had some superchargers in there. Those things that look like mini Batmobiles. Those things were sharp. Those things were cool, and shows your clout and how long you've been around in this world than most humans. So you've seen a lot. You've been around. I've been around a lot, and cool to see that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean,
let's go around to the panel too and see who other speakers of the house here have as their favorites.
Tyler, so what's your dream car?
Who wants to go next? Who's dream car?
Yeah, I mean, back in 2017, everyone said win Lambo. There was like a whole Lambo moon meme. So I mean, I like the way Lambos look. But honestly, like as far as you mean, like dream car, or I like the DeLorean from Back to the Future. That'd be pretty cool. I like Goes to the Future, so that way I can time every all-time high and every bottom perfectly. That'd be my dream car.
I do have a Lincoln with that. I do have a Lincoln with that. Sorry, CryptoPjr. I did buy a Twin Flames from Justin Aversano of the Trippy Twins, and in there was a DeLorean. The Trippy Twins were hanging out in the DeLorean. However, you need to keep in mind to have that flux capacitor, because without the flux capacitor, you're pretty much just going from point A to point B in the same year. Without the flux capacitor, I don't know if that DeLorean will be able to hop to a different dimension.
You could always check Walmart. They might have
that. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, Walmart has everything, right? It probably has those flux capacitors.
Yeah. Darren, do you have a favorite car? Either one that you would like to own or just one you like to see driving around the street? He's connecting back in. We'll get him here as a speaker in a second.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my dream car will definitely be a Audi. It's an Audi R8. I think that's one of the most beautiful cars. It may sound cliche actually, but because I'm from Singapore basically, so right here cars are hella expensive. Basically, you gotta pay maybe like a 80 grand just to to get the right to own a car. and the car itself is going to cost another 200 grand. So 280 grand for Ferrari, basically.
Ooh, that's
Or
a
is it
tall
500?
lift. You know, just think if you get in a fender bender, of how much your insurance rates are going to be going up for that. You know.
Yeah. I mean, that's because I think from Singapore itself is quite small. So any car that they're going to purchase is going to be hella expensive, basically. Okay, I'm mistaken. It's actually 700 grand for AR8, basically.
Ooh, tall drink. How about it's Tyler Says? What's your favorite car here? What
I think
Bored Ape is your what Bored Ape do you want your car to be in if your Bored Ape was real?
So when I used to work, I used to drive on this highway, and there used to be, I don't know what year it was, that's Porsche, and I just always wanted it. And I don't know what year it was, what it really was, but it was just so beautiful. One day I'll acquire it somehow.
Was it those like old
Oh.
911 Porsches? Obviously, round
Probably.
hair headlights, almost like a T-top. I think the older ones that even have convertibles was almost like a T-top, like a vinyl top that they took down on those.
Boy.
Until the older cars for some reason, I love like just the way that they look.
Well, they had
Good choice.
style. They're actually made out of
100%.
there.
100%. Like I grew up with these posters of Porsche 911s, and that was before like the whole 1974 redesigns, right? So I think like Tyler did, for me, it would have to be like a British racing green Porsche 911, like before the 1974 redesigns. That would be it. That's the Everest.
Netflix show Fastest Car where they have supercars race against garage gurus, for lack of a better term. And I never cheered for the supercars. I always went for like the 67 Mustang that was supercharged, or a car that someone was like a man building. I always loved those things. The ones, that's what they're called, the sleeper cars. The ones that are just a normal box on wheels, and all of a sudden that thing's going from 0 to 100 in no time at all. And that's what's really cool, and that's what's really neat. Things up here in a minute or two. I want to get like there again a general recap. So Clem, maybe you or if someone on your team just do like the 411. It's just like elevator pitch for say, because right now you guys have 33,000 followers. I mean, the people who are getting in on this have tons of followers. Tyler has just about 50,000 followers. 3orovik, you have 22,000 followers. I mean, you guys have big members in this community, not only up here speaking, but also in the crowd watching this. What's the best thing to do? Obviously, hop on the on the Twitter handle, click in on that Discord. What else?
Come on, Darren, take it away. Darren? Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I think Darren's mic was before when we asked him a question. See if we can get him back in here. But go ahead. What's the best thing we can do? Anyone can take that mic for us. Clem, how about you break it down for us? Doesn't look like Darren's mic's working.
Right. So I guess for Racing Punks wise, right, we are gonna do lots of great things. Definitely, it's gonna be a play to earn game, a play and earn game basically. So while you're racing in our games itself, you'll be able to earn tokens that can be exchanged out for ETH or maybe USDT, USDC. This is the game that will be pushing out. It will be the first in line to a series of games definitely. The game is actually already in development, should be ready by September as well. As you can see from our Twitter itself, we have a trailer of the game. It's basically a race to earn game, basically. And we are allowing you guys to actually place whatever NFTs that you guys like on these cars. So right now we are actually reaching out to NFT projects in general, and then we would like to get them to place their NFTs on the car, and then create some sort of communities within each of these cars as well. So you guys could race against each other, community to community, head to head. Yeah. So these are the kind of things that we are looking forward to making as well. And I think for right now, we are giving away actually 10 whitelist spots for those that are listening here right now. So if you guys are listening, I'll check in later and I'll drop you guys a DM and I'll get you guys a whitelist for the car. And last but not least, in line with the whole free mint trend, our cars are for free mint and we have 30,000 of them. So if you guys want it, you guys can head off to our Discord, get a whitelist right there, and then we'll set you up pretty quickly, right?
All right, you heard it here. You're getting all the alpha right here at the end of the show. You need to get on here, drop a DM. CryptoPjr, do that right now. Drop a DM that you want to get on that whitelist. Who else we got in there? Rahul Vicious, get on there. Get in that whitelist. You can get in there free or whitelist available. I got the Cardano Outreach Foundation right now. Cardano Outreach, you're listening in. You might as well get in there and get yourself DM'd. Guys, did you hear what he just said? Free NFTs, aliens, is not to everyone. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say guys. Free. So, I mean, pretty much you got to drop it in there. That's it. And then you can start building.
Yeah.
I love how you guys are taking it a slower approach where you're not trying to just get your out there, get your NFT going where you're actually waiting it to be ready. You're waiting for it all to be ready. So then, so we can just get in there and race and have some fun.
I mean, for right now, I think the funniest thing that we could ever see right now is basically a goblin on the car itself. It will look stupid, but you'll be looking amazing as well, you know.
Well, that's the best thing about it is you can put anything you want to, just like any, just like on a bumper sticker on any car. Yours, you can. And these cars are FRE free. If you're just tuning in, make sure and then also make sure that this is where all the intel is, all the info is. You got the announcements.
All right.
You got all the links. So this is all these official links. All right. We don't need to be going anywhere else. We're in the strong members within this Discord community. I mean, I chimed in. I had tons of people leaving that Discord. Not leaving that Discord, but transferring the attention spans right over here to these live spaces presenting to you right now. I want to thank of people that were presenting and talking about this NFT project here today. The pit crew, the ones that keep the treads on those tires, lap the competitors, and we can keep on pressing forward into this NFT space that we all love so much. But make sure you're DMing Racing Punks here, and getting looped in with, and obviously that Discord huge component of it.
Yeah, and I think we'll be seeing more of Novo as well. I mean, we are working on something big together, I hope. So for those who are watching Novo, we'll probably see more of us in the future for those who are joining his show as well. So thank you all for coming as well. So Novo, would you like to wrap this up entirely?
Yeah, I'll wrap this up right here. Hold on, I got to make sure I have the right screen going on. Right here, you're looking at the Novoverse. And what we got going on in the Novoverse is we want to get that metaverse going for all our zombies. And down here on this main floor, we have two areas. And this area right here could be a very nice display to maybe put a car, a garage. So we'll see what happens. Venue space that I'm looking at right here. If you have any interest in Novoverse space or land, no, you can DM me. But want to get you a free wearable. I mean, we got a free whitelisting spot for a free NFT from Racing Punks. You can DM me. You just need to take a selfie of yourself and with your Ethereum wallet address, and I'll get you an NFT. All right. It's going to look very clear to what I'm looking at right here with that sweet tracksuit and the crypto. But back to the prime NFT that we are talking to today, Racing Punks. I'm a racer. I like things that go fast. I know CryptoPjr is interested as well because, heck, there's only one way that you can travel the galaxy. Galaxies, plural, and that is fast. So make sure that you're clicking the right links. Make sure people, any questions, find those people. If not, just ask me. I'm here to help. Locky yet? I don't know. No crypto monsters today. We'll see if we can get them back next Monday. Monster Mondays. Maybe we'll have some days or something like that. We can talk about racing. I know in the chat, in the Discord, excuse me, for Racing Punks, they do have updates on the F1. So if you are interested in racing, regular racing that you might catch on TV, there's interaction on their Discord. But we are going to wrap this up. I'm going to play some tunes here from Warp Sounds. I want to thank all my friends for listening in. A whole bunch of new listeners. Thank you very much. Make sure you're following. Pin tweets at the top. Until then, I'm Crypto Novo saying stay positive and love life. Peace.
Thanks for having us, brother.
Always.
Thanks for having us.
Always and always.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Always. I also want to
Thanks,
say
Nate.
this is a global group right here. I mean, everyone, I don't even know how the accents are from all over the world, different time zones as well. So thank you for out keeping us organized. That's it. Stay positive and love life. Peace.
Who made this? It sounds damn good.